Hi guys, how are we all doing? It's 922 here. A little bit later with the next instalment of the Q&A session, but I thought I would try and I'd wait and see really what happens with the weather. And as it stands, the weather, as you can see all around me, is superb. And as you can probably tell, because of the surroundings, I'm not in the usual office. This time around, I'm in the outside office, where there will be interruptions as follows. 350, 105 and 116 for London North Western Railway, bound for Birmingham New Street. So yes, there's going to be all sorts of noise kicking around, flies all over the show, sun disappearing behind random bits of cloud, me looking in every other which way in direction, working on my tan, and answering your questions. So this is probably going to be part 3 of 4. There will probably be 4 parts to this, maybe 5, don't know, but there's certainly going to be at least 4 parts, so the titles of the previous ones will be edited accordingly. So to continue on from where we left off, we're kicking off with Kieran Clark. On Thameslink routes, which stations do you like? I.e. the East Coast Main Line, Midland Main Line, Brighton Main Line, Central London, etc. Out of the ones that I've been on that are served by Thameslink, you've got Hitchin, London King's Cross, I like them. Peterborough, I like that. Gatwick Airport, love that station. Brighton, that's incredible. Bedford is also very good. You've got Luton Airport Parkway. That one that's also superb. Central London, haven't really got any, truth be told. Not that are served by Thameslink anyway. Oh, I tell a lie. South Kenton. No, not South Kenton. East Croydon. Croydon, then, I've no idea. It's Wednesday. Sun's out. That's what it is. Kieran Clark again. Which stations do you prefer out of St Albans City or Luton? I prefer St Albans City because of the layout. Luton is fine, but St Albans City has a nicer layout. And Kieran Clark again. Which LNER train is your favourite of all time? Well, if we're going off all time, then it would have to be basically any of the ones running around in the steam era. So, be it your likes of your Flying Scotsmans of this world and the various classes beneath that, and such as the A4s. So, Sir Nigel Gresley, Mallard, Dominion of New Zealand, Unions of Africa. All of those ones, basically all the steam locos that were running around in the actual proper days of LNER. Obviously you had the HSTs in the newer guys of LNER, 225 sets going around, so yeah, but I think it would have to be definitely steam. And Kieran Clark again, have you seen Steamage's new Platform 5? No, I haven't. Dark Decisions, out of all UK stations you have been to, which stations are you not a big fan of going to? I'm not too sure, to be fair. That's a difficult question because there are loads of stations throughout the UK that I have actually never been to before. So without having been to all of them, there's a butterfly there that just keeps nipping around. Because I've not been to all of the stations, it's kind of difficult to say. Out of the ones I've been to, I probably wouldn't go to Seven Sisters again. That was just dire. Warrington Bank Quay, wasn't too much of a big lover of that one. Stourbridge Junction, wasn't too keen on that one either, truth be told. Okay, next, rails, etc. 4 questions here. What is your favourite station? I haven't got like an all-round favourite because I've got favourites for each main line, so you'd have to be a little bit more specific on that one. 2, what is your favourite line? It's actually a toss-up between the West Coast and the East Coast. The West Coast going through Cumbria into the Pennines. There's a pigeon, they get everywhere. And the East Coast of the section between Newcastle and Edinburgh Waverley. Absolutely love that section. And 3, where would you want to visit to see trains in the USA? Basically anywhere on the Northeast Corridor. And 4, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? That is a very good question, and the answer to that would be Jeff. That is the answer. The answer is Jeff. It really is. It truly is Jeff. Jeff solves many things. In one lifetime ago, it was Jeeves. You could ask Jeeves, and Jeeves would know all. Some of you are probably too young to even know what Ask Jeeves is. The glory days, eh? The glory days. Some of you will know. DJK. I've got an essay here. Do you think Great Northern and Network Rail bringing the 365s out of public service was a good move? Because they are not even being scrapped, they're just being kept in storage, and I also understand you have a lot going on, but will you ever do a film at Hinckley Station in Leicestershire? As would love to see that and keep up with the good commentary. I don't always comment on your videos, but I watch in my spare time. Thank you kindly for continuing to watch my content. It always is greatly appreciated. Would I go to Hinckley? Truth be told, I really am not too sure. One moment. That's 103 and 257 bound for London Euston. And what do I think of the 365s being taken out of service? Well, I guess there's no real demand for them at the moment. It's good they're not being scrapped, so they're there as a scapegoat on the off chance that they're needed to bolster capacity, which they could very well do. Maybe not for Great Northern, but ScotRail had them for a long period of time, so somebody else may need some extra capacity somewhere. And actually, in saying that, I'm very surprised that Great Western Railway didn't have them. I know that they've not got corridor connectors as such, or gangways, but I'd have thought that they could have been used. They're fast enough, certainly. Right, oh my god. Leafon, Silver O, and Rock Dan Pano. Nice names. Can you do trains at Poole? Also, why have you not done trains on the West Coastway line? Also, why not film trains on the London Underground? Well, the London Underground, quite simply, it's the lack of diversity. Many years ago, before I even started filming, essentially every line on the Underground had different rolling stock. It was incredible. I had to be interrupted once more. 124 and 248 going from Crewe to London Euston. And I've lost myself here. West Coastway lines, I've just never got around to it. It's something I probably will do at some stage. And will I do trains at Poole? Who knows? Right, I'm going to probably butcher the pronunciation of this name, so I do apologise in advance. In fact, I apologise in advance to any and all of you whom I do a butcher. Right, Ahmed Fayaz Ramadan. Hi Jared, hope you're doing well as always. I'd like to hear your opinion on this. Do you think the UK lacks electrified railway lines? I know upgrades are being made as we speak, but if you had all the resources, which lines do you think deserve immediate electrification? Maybe the Great Western all the way to Penzance, or the Scottish East Coast Main Line to Aberdeen, or the Chiltern, or something else. There's probably a very good reason as to why some of the lines haven't been completely electrified. I wouldn't do the entirety of the Great Western Main Line for the very simple reason that you've only got to look at what happens down in Dawlish near enough every year. The fact that the weather down that neck of the woods, when it wants to be, can cause the sea to be absolutely atrocious. And I'm sure you've seen photos, or a particular photo, say the HST coming along, and the water is just completely covered that HST. Now, if you've got catenary up there, that could easily get damaged by the sheer power of those waves continuously crashing in, and it would be way too expensive to continuously go out and maintain. Even putting a third rail in there probably wouldn't be beneficial. Chiltern Main Line, yeah, that could actually probably do with electrification, because fun fact, London Marylebone is the only London terminus to not have electrification. So I think the Chiltern Railways could probably do with electrification at some stage, but from what I can tell, they haven't actually got any plans to do so. Probably the next best one, yeah, is probably not just the East Coast Main Line Scottish branch, up to Inverness and all that jazz, but maybe just the entirety of Scotland, get electrification going on in there. It would certainly make sense in my eyes. You've probably got a lot of lines in Wales, could probably, again, do with electrification at the same time. And yes, I'm doing very well, thank you, and I trust you are too. Right. Reese Collins, if you were to move to any part of the country, where would it be? I've got a thing with Yorkshire. I absolutely love Yorkshire, and I would happily move up there, I reckon. Reese's transport videos, 4 questions here. 1, what is your favourite steam loco? That would be Tornado. 2, what is your favourite diesel loco? It's a toss-up, really, between the 37, the 68, and the 70. 3, what is your least favourite session/video you've done? It's one that I actually never released. It was at Seven Sisters years ago when I was filming there, and the station staff and one of the train drivers for Greater Anglia at the time were just rude. So the video wasn't even worth posting up, truth be told, because it lacked any diversity at all. It was just 315s continuously. And 4, if there was any operator you could bring back, which would it be? Mine would be Virgin Trains. Yeah, I think seeing Virgin Trains is actually a very good shout, because they were the first sort of mainstay intercity service once Intercity had gone. So Virgin Trains actually had the cross-country franchise, and obviously they had the West Coast as well, which is where I'm currently standing. I'm actually standing on one of the many footbridges, or actually it's a decent-sized bridge for tractors to come back and forth, because, as you can see, behind me is a load of fields. In fact, you can just see there is one of 9 wind turbines of the M1 wind farm that got stuck up years ago. Loads of fuss kicked up about it, but I think they actually look really, really nice. Yeah, I think Virgin Trains would be a good shout to see make a return. I can't really think anybody else would do it, because Virgin Trains were around for, what, 20 odd years? And I think in that time they really did well. So yeah, I'd like to see Virgin Trains come back. Yeet the Pizza 2. Jolly good. 1, what is your favourite line? Actually, you mentioned this one earlier. I will also say this. If I've actually already answered a question not too dissimilar, then I will simply say that I've answered that one already. Go away. And I will still read out your question, though. Also, can you do a video at Oakley Park? Maybe. You're an amazing YouTuber. I watch you every night. That is very, very kind of you. Thank you very much. Elenia Azuma. They've become sentient. I knew there was something about them. Question. Are you excited for the new upgraded 803 Azuma? They will have remodeled seats, which are meant to be far more comfortable. Well, you can't do any worse than what they currently have. This is what I don't understand with so many modern train operators nowadays. They insist on having all these highfalutin, high-technical trains, and yet they give us iron-board seats. I mean, I was at a Heritage Railway just a few weeks ago, sat on a Western Region Mark 1, and it was beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, we've got the Royal Mail 325s about to pass by. .003 was leading. Can't tell you about the other ones. But yeah, a Western Region Mark 1, you know, the chocolate and cream. And you just sat on them. Okay, I know it's a Heritage Railway, but you sat in such comfortable seats. You know, and even, you know, the Mark 2s of this world and Mark 3s, you know, they were fantastic. And the Mark 4s, superbly comfortable seating. And yet you go into the 800s, you go into 387s, and they're just absolutely horrible. The seats are so hard. So I really don't understand why. I really do hope that these 803s are going to be, you know, have softer seating, because the purpose of these trains is long distance travel. And if you're going to want to sit in somewhere for a lengthy amount of time, you're going to want to sit in comfort. So I never understand this whole thing about rock hard seats. Genuinely baffling. Okay, Jonathan Van Dyke, is there anywhere specific in the UK, station or location-wise, that you haven't visited and think, ooh, I really wanted to go there to train spot? Actually, I can say this, I've never said to myself, ooh, I fancy going there to train spot, but I might just start doing that now, as a thing, one of my many little phrases. There are loads of places, you know, how long is a piece of string? There are plenty of places that I want to go to. I've not even, you know, scratched the surface of Wales. I've hardly, you know, touched, you know, the Anglia network as a whole. So, you know, well, Norfolk, really, the entirety of Norfolk I want to go and have a butcher's at. I've got Cornwall, Devon I want to go and have a look at. Scotland I need to have a play in. I've only ever been to Glasgow and Edinburgh. There's so much more I need to go and see. You know, even just in England itself, you know, there are so many places. Europe, countless places in Europe I want to go to. If I could, I would go all over the place and do this. I really would, if given that opportunity. I think it'd be fantastic. Nope, nothing's coming. It's really good. Dan Spotter 86. My question is, what do you think of the iconic Intercity Swallow livery? And my second one is, the East Coast Main Line better for variety? Sorry, is the East Coast Main Line better for variety than the West Coast Main Line? And I apologise for the wind as well. Nothing I can do about that. Right. Well, to jump into the second question, no, the West Coast Main Line is, in my opinion, better, because the West Coast Main Line is the busiest mixed traffic route in the UK. Because you've got all of the freight, or the fair bulk of the freight traverses this line. The variety in passenger traffic, be it on the southern section of the West Coast Main Line, the Midland section of the West Coast Main Line, sort of around the Birmingham area, or even the northern section, basically up from Liverpool, or Crewe, really, up to Scotland. The East Coast is good, but I think the West Coast is better. And I think seeing the Intercity Swallow livery make a return is phenomenal. It is a livery that suits absolutely everything. You cannot go wrong with it. Not at all. Okay. No? Alright, okay. Right, British Train Spotter 313. Hello. Hi there. My question is, have you ever been in the cab of a train while train spotting, or the guard/driver offered to let you in the cab? If so, what trains have you been in the cab of? I've never been in the cab of a train whilst train spotting. I've never been given the opportunity to have a look inside whilst train spotting. I would absolutely love the opportunity to do so. If any drivers out there who are watching this feeling generous and see me filming on a station and think, let's invite this chap in, I would not say no. I have, however, been in the cab of a DB Cargo UK Class 92, and this was many years ago at Barking when they were doing their piece for reopening the Silk Road from China to the UK, and utilising a special liveried 92 and a special liveried Class 66, both of which I've got 00 scale models of, oddly enough. And we just walked up to the 92 because they were allowing people to go in and have a look, and went into the cab, sat in there, got me a picture taken, and that is the one mainline cab that I've been in. I have been in the cab of a Heritage Steam Loco, 92 Squadron. That was a part of an experience for me that I was able to drive on the Nam Valley Railway. Pendolino. I want to say 106. Okay, very unprofessional train spotting. I'm sure you're very professional. Which livery suits the 323 better? Northern, West Midlands Railway, or the Old London Midland? I quite like the Old London Midland colour scheme. I think that worked really well on the 323s. The Northern livery does look very good. I think London Midland. I think that really does work on that one. Tristan Beck, what is your favourite British diesel apart from the HST? I actually, again, answered this one earlier, being a toss-up between the 37, the 70, and the 68. No? I'm sure I'm hearing things over there, I really am. Basically, you can't see this because it's off camera, but just straight next to me is a pathway that leads up to one of the back roads that leads up, links road to Hartwell. Essentially, I'm in a large triangle at the moment. You've got, think of it as Ashton, Hartwell, Road. If you look on a map, obviously, it will be in that way no matter which way you turn it. It's a large triangle, and I'm basically in the middle of that triangle at the moment. So 37, 68, and 70. Star Life Studios Rail Videos. What is the station you have enjoyed the most in the last year? Well, I mentioned this actually, I think it may have been in part 1 of my Q&A. I really loved going to rugby earlier, a few months ago. That was one incredible evening session with the freight and the passenger traffic and the weather as well. The weather was absolutely pants. And that kind of just made it all the more better, really. I thought it was absolutely blinding, I really did. So yeah, I'd have to say, in the last year, I think rugby is probably up there. Right, so I've got 2 here from East Midlands Train Spotting. Right, number 1, are you planning to make another venture to Kettering? I actually have done that already. I have 3 films from the Midland Main Line that will be released in the coming weeks. I have Kettering, Leicester and Nottingham. As you have 360s and 180s running now, and may I join you? If I had have known, then I would have said yes. But if anybody does see me filming at a station or know where I'm going to be at a given place, please do come along. I welcome it. I welcome it. And I've got a helicopter coming over there. Jolly good. Right. Question 2: are you continuing the Transport Fever 2 gameplay videos? They were enjoyable to watch. I will be bringing those back. The gaming side of my channel will be making a comeback. I've got crickets round here now. There's some in a tree that's just off to my left, and there's some in that bush you can see just there. I can hear them in there. Oh, it's a private helicopter. It's not entertaining at all. So I was kind of hoping for, Apache gunship or, a Chinook. Right, Marcus Junction, Train Sim 2021 or Train Sim World? I get more entertainment out of Train Sim 2021, truth be told. I feel that's a more enjoyable experience. Mad Train Spotter McRae, do you like the HSTs or the 225s and the 170, the 68s, and why? Yeah, I love the HSTs. Because they're iconic. They lasted for 40 years doing stellar service, and some of them are still going strong across country for cross-country services. You've got smaller ones now going off for Great Railway for their castle sets, and ScotRail for their Intercity 7, or the Inter 7 city branding thing, job, Magoo. Obviously now you've got LSL that have got HSTs running around. They've got their Staycation Express that at the time of this recording is still going around. They've got a former East Midlands set which will probably get repainted into Intercity Swallow. And I'm sure they've got a load more power cars being saved. And in fact I do know that Collis Rail have taken on some former LNR power cars, if memory serves. Because I think they were based on the Severn Valley Railway. 225 sets, yeah, I think they're fantastic. They serve the East Coast Main Line flawlessly for their entire lives. The 170s, I think they're stuck on the wrong routes myself. The Nottingham to Cardiff, I think the 170s shouldn't be working on that. I think they should be using purpose-built long-distance trains with better capacity. Same with the Birmingham to Stansted Airport runs and return. Serving any airport requires, I think, much bigger trains. 3-car 170s, they can get overcrowded very, very quickly. And 68s, well, they're just incredible. Noises. Right, how are we doing for time? Right, Simon Nichols, how on earth do you manage to catch the numbers of all the trains as they flash through at a distance? Do you have any technical help, or do you just have bionic eyesight? Zooming in. No, I'm gifted with very, very good eyesight. And it comes from just really knowing where to look on the trains at any speed. I've been doing it for so long now, it's basically become second nature, like with the Pendolinos. I know to look on the side, the Voyagers, again, look on the side, 350s, you quick glance at the top. At speed, numbers coming at you at the front, easy enough. It's the numbers on the side that can be difficult, especially with the 180 Atalantes for Grand Central, because they're actually on the buffers, or the coupling. So they can be a nightmare. Get out of it. Nope, that's a bus. That's a Hayfordian, jolly good. Looking behind me, I've got some more 350s to be making an appearance shortly. But yeah, it's just really knowing where to look, truth be told. And it's like, I've been doing it for so long now, it basically is second nature. Alright, who have we got here then? .262 and 246. And 246 was in its former London Midlands colour scheme. Okay, Lynn Larkins from Kieran, would you ever fancy filming at Lincoln Central? Certainly, I've actually been asked on many occasions if I'd like to go filming at Lincoln, and it is somewhere I will go at some stage. I'm not too sure when, but I know because you're part of the Facebook group, I will announce that at some stage, and when I do, Kieran and yourself would be more than welcome to come and join me. Right, Chaz Tomo Trains. Have you ever considered buying a day ranger ticket and filming at 10 or so different stations and putting them all into one video? For example, you could stay at Wolverhampton for an hour or so, then travel to Stafford and stay for like 25 minutes. Just an idea, but I think it would go down really well. No, sorry, I thought someone by my car. No, I completely agree with you, Charlie. It would be a fantastic idea. Only problem being is that with me personally, with what I do, I like spending upwards of an hour, maybe two at a station, depending on how busy it can be. And I feel that I would get more enjoyment if I were to do what I currently do. Not dismaying or dismissing your idea at all. I think it's a superb idea. I probably might try it and not do any filming, just to get a grip for everything and really sort of see how things go, get the lay of the land. And if I feel it's something that I could actually do filming-wise, and I feel like it could be successful through my own style, then it's definitely something that I will consider doing. And Chastoma Trains again, what is your favourite out of the newer trains on the network? The 800s, the 720s, the 195s, etc. I've got a real thing for the Stadler Flirts. I think they pretty much take it for me. I really, really do like them. They look phenomenal and they sound fantastic. They really do. It's nice to see modern trains coming out with a real good sense of character. That's what you want in trains. You want character. That's why I love the 321 so much. Simon FC, why don't you underground trains? I presume you wish me to film underground trains. I answered that one earlier. There's just simply no variety anymore. It's all the same to me. Oh, Pennsylvania coming through. $390,044, and that was a Pennsylvania that of course attempted the speed record from London to Glasgow, but due to a temporary speed restriction at Carstairs, it failed it by, what was it, 20 seconds or something like that? I'm sure it's something along those lines. Right, Kaushik Gosh, what is going on with the High Speed 2 build? What led to delays and who is to blame for this? Again, how long's a piece of string? It's red tape. You know, it's people that it's the bods in the office. They think they know what they're doing. Oh, that bus is now pulling up behind me. Weirdly, yeah, it's the bods in the office. You know, they don't know what they're doing. It's all a numbers game. It's all how much money can we squeeze to really sort of invest in all of this. I mean, they could have the project lasting for the rest of their lives as long as they see a fat paycheck by the end of it. They're not fussed. That line could easily be built within a few years, but they're going to make it as lengthy as possible because they want to make as much money as they possibly can out of it. It's beyond farcical. It's like anything in this country. You look at anywhere around the world, if they want to build something, bang, it's done. Be it a building, a housing estate, a railway line, they just build it and bang, they're in there. We want to try and build something. They've got to have a meeting every day for about 10 weeks just to work out, oh, I don't like that line. Can we move that across? Okay, is that straight? No, I want a little bit of a curve in there. Once they've then done that, they've got to then go to another meeting to go and show them what they've done. Once they've had that meeting, they then go back to another meeting to discuss those two meetings. It's ridiculous. Every business in the UK is the same. It's just ridiculous. It really is. It's not difficult. You've got a basic idea of what you've got the route planned. You've got permission to build the thing. You know where it's going. You knew from the start what resources you were going to need to build it, and you still make up lies. Oh, it's going to be over budget. No, it's not going to be over budget. It would have been in budget, but you budgeted it wrong because you're idiots. Because you don't know what you're doing. You don't understand the true cost of things. You just think, we'll make up a sum. That'll be absolutely fine. No, it won't be. If you actually had an understanding of how much things cost, labour, all that lot, you might be in there. But no, you don't. It's generally baffling. Like I think they're in the process of doing some of the tunnels in the Chilterns at the moment. And tunnels will take a long period of time. I accept that, but everything else, they're just dawdling. They really are. They could have it done so much quicker, but I don't know. Rant over. Gosh it Kosh, what is your least favourite country? Would you ever go to New Zealand if you had the money? Yep, love to go to New Zealand. It's on my list of places to go to. I probably haven't got a least favourite country, because every country that I've been to so far has had something to offer for me, be it in terms of any educational purpose. I'm always willing to, learn new things historically, and about just the overall culture of any country that I go to. So I don't say I've ever been to a particular bad country. If I were to say, well, probably one bad country is probably England, because I'm English. I'm allowed to say that England's probably one of the bad ones to go to, for no other reason than I'm just British. It makes sense in my mind. Right. And what is your favourite airline? This is from Gosh again. What is your favourite airline? Mine are Asia Airlines, Vietnam Airlines, and Air New Zealand. I don't know. I've not really got a favourite airline. I mean, if I were to go on one that I travel with, quite often, then the two that spring to mind are Ryanair and EasyJet. Low cost, no frills airlines. It does what it says on the tin, gets you from point A to point B, roughly. So yeah, I mean, I'd go with those two. I mean, I've travelled with Virgin Atlantic; they were phenomenal. I've gone with British Airways, fantastic. I've gone with United Airlines, incredible. So yeah, I mean, just going off the basis that I fly with Ryanair and EasyJet religiously to wherever I go, I'll stick with them, I guess. And Will Lloyd, if London North Western Railway will make a city franchise like London Midland, what rolling stock would you choose? Well, they basically have. I mean, London North Western is a consortium. So you've actually got London North Western, which is the main bulk of the West Coast Main Line, and you've got West Midlands Railway, which worked the former London Midland city routes, and also does the stuff into Wales. So basically that is it. And they've inherited the old stock as things currently stand. So they've got 323s, they've got 170s, they've got 172s. But I think they are going to be getting some new toys at some point. What's the time? I think we've got time for a few more. King Carrot YouTube, hi Tornado, not watched your videos for a while because I've been on holiday and several quarantine sessions. About to be interrupted by a Pendolino. 392107. Right, yeah, sorry. So you've been on holiday in a few quarantine sessions. Yep. Yeah, you don't have to explain yourself. It's absolutely fine. I'm not going to force you to try and watch all my content. I've got two questions, if you don't mind. Ooh, how much you paying me? One, how's life been? In the grand scheme of things, it's been fine. I can't complain too much. I'm fortunate enough to still have a job throughout the entirety of the coronavirus pandemic, and I've been very fortunate in order to retain that job. Obviously, I've still been able to do all this as well. I can hear a Voyager. And what do you think about the new open access operator East Coast Trains, now being renamed Lumo or something? I think they could do quite well. What have we got here then? I think that's 115 and 117. I think. Oh yeah. Yeah, so to answer your second part, it's a breath of fresh air, because I've seen the fares they want to introduce, because they're trying to basically take the fight to the airlines. Because really, travelling from Edinburgh, from London to Scotland by rail is ridiculously expensive. That's why so many people want to go by plane. And I think as it stands, you can get... They're thinking about doing like £19.90 returns if you book X amount of days in advance. It's going to be amazing. And it's definitely something I'm going to be utilising, that's for sure. Oh, we've got a Freightliner 66 coming down, fully loaded with containers. This could take a while. 547. And I think I'm going to leave that one there, guys. I'm going to have to go into part 4 now. I'm going to film it continuing on from here. And I hope that part 4 is going to be the final part, because if I have to go into part 5, this would be the longest Q&A session I've ever had to do. Admittedly, I've really dragged this out. I should have had all these parts filmed ages ago. We'll get this Pendolino, shall we? That's 151. Right, so I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you all very much for contributing to the Q&A. It is truly greatly appreciated. I love having this opportunity to interact with all of you guys. And if I haven't answered your questions so far, then rest assured it will be in the next part, which I hope is going to be the final part. I've got a lot more questions to go through, so hopefully I can rattle through them, and we'll get there. So, take care, guys. I'll see you all very soon.